when you feel pressure to have it all figured out. Welcome to the Self Concept Bestie podcast. I'm your host, Laura. Today I want to talk about the pressure that we put on ourselves to have everything figured out. Sometimes I think that we should feel clear, we should always feel motivated, and we should always feel certain all the time. But let's be real here, because the truth is, there is times in our life when things feel unclear. Things feel so uncertain. But what I want us to realise that it doesn't mean that anything has gone wrong or is going wrong. When we feel pressure, whether it's going to be to succeed at something, or if it's to make the right decision, or to keep moving forward, like we have to keep on pushing all the time, it's that pressure that's building up. It becomes really hard to start to hear our own inner voice. You know, that one that trusts, that knows things are working out, that really has your back, that gives you that boost, that creativity to keep on moving. We think that we're needing all of this clarity first. We need to have the clarity to be okay. But often what we find is the pressure that we're putting on ourselves is blocking the clarity that we're needing. Because we're building all of this pressure up, like we need to do this, so I need to do this, I need to do that. You've got this list as big as your arm, and all of a sudden, your brain's like, whoa, overwhelmed, abort, let's get out of here. Because when we put so much expectation on ourselves, but we're living in that uncertainty phase and not feeling safe, what we want to do is it wants to shut us down. Sometimes it looks like a lack of motivation, that we've not, just can't be bothered doing anything, that we're lazy, and then what happens is we start to beat ourselves up about it. Like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. What we're doing, guess what? We're adding more pressure to already the boiling pot. What happens? When the boiling pot gets too hot, it will start to overflow. So when it looks like lack of motivation, it's actually our nervous system craving the safety. We start to judge ourselves, and then that feeling of stuck, that pressure, it just keeps building. But often we don't need more pressure. We don't need to be adding that to ourselves. We just need more safety. Because when you've got the knots in your stomach, the racing mind, the pressure, the inability to access the calm, apologies, I thought I had my phone on silent there. So you hear the ding. So the inability to access that calm inner wisdom, that inner knowing that you've been leading with. Because our nervous system feels trying to solve the future problems, that overthinking, it's going to start running. That overthinking is going to be loud, and it's going to be trying to get to your worst case scenario to brace for that impact. It's going to seek out that certainty, because all it's doing is craving that safety. And see, when you can actually see that happening, when you can sit back and look like, okay, right, this is actually what's happening. That actually helps calm it anyway. You can start to say, right, okay, I'm really overthinking right now. I'm craving this safety, I'm craving this certainty, but it's just because I need to feel safe. Because when our nervous system does, when it doesn't feel unsafe, when it doesn't feel safe, obviously we're looking for all these things. But then when we do not, right, I'm going to edit that bit out. So when our nervous system feels unsafe, it'll prioritise scanning for danger. It's going to look for solving the future. It's going to be looking for seeking that certainty. It's going to be bracing for our worst case scenario. And see, when we can sit back and we can look at that and we can see that truly for what it is, that can almost be enough to just slightly take the edge off it. Because what our brains don't do, it doesn't prioritise when we're feeling unsafe. It doesn't prioritise our creativity. It doesn't prioritise the trust that everything's going to be okay. It doesn't prioritise our inspiration. And it doesn't prioritise space in our minds. It doesn't prioritise the quiet. Because in the quiet, it wants to fill in the void because it's craving, let me know we're safe. Let me know we're safe. It's taking us back without even you consciously knowing it. Unconsciously, it's taking you back to a time where you have felt unsafe before. These similar feelings have came up. It could be a completely different situation, but it's going to bring that back and it's going to be right, okay, how did we handle this last time? I need to know we're going to be okay. We need to know. So I need you to know that if you're in that season where you're feeling like uncertain, you're feeling overwhelmed, or just like you're losing momentum, like you've had this, you've been going and it's just not there anymore. Maybe the answer for you isn't to push any harder. Not to put more pressure on yourself. Not to keep on going when actually what you're needing to do is rest and try and bring that safety into your body. Teach your body in that moment that you're safe. When you feel that stomach churn, say to yourself, I am safe in this moment right now. I am safe in this moment right now. Allow your body to feel that. Because maybe the answer to create that safety is to reduce the pressure and just trust that your clarity will return, that the calmness will return, that actually that is still there. You need to know that it's still there. It's just being overshadowed by everything else. It's being overshadowed with that craving of I need to know I'm safe. So I get it. I do, because I've had these moments as well where you've got feeling so much pressure to have it all figured out, to, if there's one thing in my life has been, I've just always been the strong one. I've always been the one that's had it figured out, that doesn't like to ask for help, that, when there's a problem, my first words are, don't worry, I'll handle it. Don't worry, I've got it. Because I always have. I've always lived in that, okay, I've got this. But throughout this journey and throughout, I hate to say healing journey, because I think we're all on a healing's linear, isn't it? Like, we're never ever fully healed. We're living a life, we're living a journey, and we choose to look at situations and we grow from them, or we choose to let them define us. But one thing I've learned is I have managed to calm my nervous system. I have managed to create safety in my life. I've managed to create that trust, that certainty. I've managed to spark that creativity again. I've managed to find that love for life, find that happiness within. But that doesn't mean to say that I'm not human. And things happen in life and it rattles me. And actually, if anything, I feel like it affects me more now than what it did before, because my body is so unused to feeling unsafe. It's so used to my nervous system being regulated that it's quite quiet. It's trusting that when it has, when I've felt a bit unsafe or my nervous system's been off, it's been for moments, it's been a moment at a time, not for a prolonged period of time. And when I have experienced that, when I've experienced maybe, like 3 days of just feeling that that uncertainty, that unsafe feeling, that knots in your stomach, that washing machine feeling. It almost is like, oh, no, 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 I don't like this feeling. It actually makes me then feel even more unsafe because I'm like, oh no, I felt so safe before. This is so, right, okay, what's happening? And actually then what I've done is I've put pressure on myself, right, okay, well, I need to feel safe again. But what I've learned is to be able to sit back and see that unsafety is there, see that feeling, and move anyway. So getting out a walk, still trying to meditate, even when in meditation, oh, the racing mind is still there. Doing EFT tapping, sitting with myself, listening to what it's trying to tell me, telling myself that I'm safe in this moment, that I'm not wherever my brain's wanting to take me back to. I am safe in this moment. And that's been the biggest takeaway for me, is just really realising that we can create a steady nervous system, but that doesn't mean to say that it's not going to be rattled every now and again. We're human. Life is going to happen. And I'm a great believer, life happens for us, not to us. But even when life is happening for us, no matter how positive or no matter how inspired you are, your nervous system can be rattled. It's our brain's job. It keeps us safe. Like if the house is on fire, we're not going to be like, oh yes, like, right, okay, I'm just going to like meditate and this is just going to go away and I'm going to feel so safe. I'm just going to, no, actually, we need our fight or flight to kick in at that point to keep us safe, to get us out of the fire. So it's natural when that happens, and it's not allowing yourself to beat yourself up and give yourself that pressure when it does happen. It's about trusting that, okay, I'm feeling unsafe right now, and that's okay, but almost embracing it, but not then letting it run your life, not giving in and be like, oh, well, this is me just back to square one. Because then again, what you're doing is you're putting more pressure on yourself. And I think for anybody listening who has been like healing any inner child wounds, who's been regulating their nervous system, who's been really working on their mindset, when you do have the days, it can sometimes throw you bigger than before. I know I've thought back to, when I just lived in fight or flight. And I'd be like, God, I used to live like this. This is how I used to live. A day, I could have like a day of that. And I'm like, oh, hell no. Like, this is, almost, you feel like the thoughts have went through my head, like, I've just ruined the 2 years of work, blah. But no, what that is, that's that ego. That's that, that's the loud, fearful voice in me saying, Laura, you need to get control, you need to get certainty. But I know that it's a momentarily thing, that this is not going to last, because I've got the tools, I've got the mindset, and this has been the reason for doing this work. So majority of my life can be calm, can be creative, can be trusting, but it's okay when it's not. And to not put so much pressure on myself when things are feeling slightly off, when I'm spinning all the plates. And me and my friend just had a conversation, and she said to me, Laura, I feel like I'm spinning all my plates, but nobody's here to take any of my plates away from me. And if I hadn't heard the most relatable thing in my life, I was like, oh my God, I actually needed to hear that. Because as like a single mum, a house, 2 kids, trying to build something, the plates are spinning. But also, if nobody knows that you've got all of these plates, nobody can be there to help you. So when we actually can feel that we're spinning all these plates, we're unsafe, is there anyone there that you can lean on? Is there anyone there that you can say, do you know what, actually, I need a bit of help? I'm feeling a wee bit lost now. I'm feeling a bit uncertain, unsafe. Do you know what? This is one thing that's really loud in my brain, for instance. For me, it's like, needing to decorate my hall. Okay, what does that look like? What's the first step? And that's where I'll phone my mum and I'm like, right, mum, I need to gut my hall. Can you come and help me? Because by me asking for her help, yeah, I'm still there, I'm still doing it, but also that pressure is now not as big because there's somebody there to take that pressure away from me. And it's about not being scared to lean on people when you're feeling like that, to pick up the phone and say, this is how I'm feeling. And I know myself, I know why I'm feeling like it, but it's just not helping right now. You know, I've done all the right things. This is what I bloody teach, but it's still loud. That's okay. It happens to us all. We are bloody human. It wouldn't be any fun if we were robots. We wouldn't have the emotion. We wouldn't have the love for life. We wouldn't have the feelings that we have. You know, so I think it's sometimes about embracing that unsafety is, oh my God, I'm here, I'm human, I'm breathing. And actually finding gratitude in it. And I know you might be thinking, well, Laura, this has been a full circle. Now we're finding gratitude for the unsafety. But I'm here to tell you, you're not broken. You're not broken. You don't have to have it figured out all the time to keep moving forward. Because sometimes the bravest thing you can do is just meet yourself where you are. Instead of forcing yourself, to be where you think you should be. And just allow yourself to be in that moment, knowing that you are safe and you've got people around you to help you be safe. Thank you so much for listening. And as always, today has already been an amazing day.